Haman Nature, a journey in search of a peaceful and prosperous society with human nature as a guide. Led by your host, Adam Haman.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Haman Nature. I'm Adam Haman, and I am an idiot. My friend is...
that goes without saying there. You don't need to qualify.
The man giving no qualifiers is the Porcupine Hobo, Tyrone. Hello, Tyrone.
Hey, brother. Congratulations, my friend. For the people that may have seen this before, this is take 2. Here we go.
Yes.
200th episode. Woo! Holy crap.
It wasn't easy getting this far. We're late because we couldn't get the stream going, and I don't know if anybody
We couldn't get the stream going?
I couldn't get the stream going.
Okay.
But rather than do the usual blather that we would normally do right here, we have some guests that we don't deserve that I'd like to put right on the screen.
All right, let's get it going. Welcome, everybody, to the 200th episode extravaganza of Haman Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephan Kinsella.
Welcome to the show, Stephan.
Thank you.
I want you to talk briefly about what you're wearing, because you look magnificent, sir.
Well, I decided to get dressed for you guys. And because when I dress up for events for professional functions or with my wife, I can never wear my libetard regalia, so I libetarded it up.
I appreciate that. We deserve it.
I got my Mises hat.
And
very nice.
I don't want to upstage you or anything, but we also have. Sorry, Mark. 1 second. We also have the great Scott Horton.
Scott Horton.
Scott.
In the house. What?
I also have a very classy pipe.
Yes, you do.
Yeah?
Gosh darn it. What? We're missing
Mine's
out,
legal,
Tyrone.
I'm also dressed up. I have Texas Skateboard Legends on my t-shirt.
Well, I'm dressed up
Hey,
too.
Luke.
I got Haman Nature merch on.
I have
Hey, guys.
underwear on.
Congratulations on your thing there.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
And
I've done 6,200 episodes of my show.
Wow. Who's counting? I mean, come on.
I played more poker hands, so there.
200 is a lot, though.
Yeah, 200's a lot. Just because the man is such good, he was waiting for us before the show even started. Let me welcome also Mark Maresca of the White Pillbox.
Mark, how you doing, brother?
I'm going to pry that applause button.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Good.
And congratulations,
Mark and Scott,
my friend.
I've
200. I love it.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. So, Mark, I've been a guest on your show. Adam and I have both been guests on your show. Scott's been a guest on our show multiple times. Hi, Scott. But Stephan Kinsella has probably been the most recurring guest on Haman Nature that we've ever had. And I've never actually spoken to him in person, which is just a tragedy, because I consider, and I've said this many times on the show, that anything Stephan Kinsella says is right. Stephan, you're one of my heroes. I'm so happy to meet you. I'm honored. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for being a part of the 200th episode of Haman Nature.
Thank you. Good to meet you too, and congrats on your 200th episode.
Yeah, so we started this project 2 years ago, almost to the date. Who knew if we'd make it or keep going, because these things tend to fizzle out. But I'm pretty proud of our little project, Adam. So what we've done here, folks, for those of you watching live in the chat, and we've got an action-packed show for you to celebrate our 200th episode. We've got special guests, which you can already see on screen, with a few more to come. We've got a brand new game to debut. And hopefully some of our guests can stick around and play that. But for those of you joining us in the chat, stick around for the game, because you're going to have a chance to win some awesome prizes from the Haman Nature merch store.
Oh, that's true. We do have $25 gift certificates for the Haman Nature merch store at shop.hamannature.com. But just because I don't want poor Scott to immediately dive off this live stream, this game is better than the one we made you play last time.
Hey, what are you talking about? I spent a lot of time making that game. Okay, for those folks who don't know, Adam's the face of the show, but I do all the work behind the scenes. So I mean, come on.
I can't believe you're admitting to that.
Luckily, I didn't read it, so I don't remember.
You smoke a lot of weed, and that works in our favor here.
There you go.
All right. Well, in addition to the guests, in addition to the game, in addition to internet problems and technical difficulties, we're going to talk about some various topics. What's going on in the world. Just check in with everybody. But Adam, probably the two things I'm excited most. We are not only debuting a new game, we're also debuting a brand new segment on the show. So folks that are loyal viewers of our show know that we like to do these little funny segments on our show from time to time. We got a brand new one that you don't want to miss. And then, Adam, do I even ruin the surprise? So folks, we're going to stream for at least a couple hours. We're going to take a break right in the middle. And then right after the break, we have something so special to debut to the world. It's going to be a game changer. I swear. You don't want to miss that. All right, so we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. But Adam, since we've got some guests, let's begin with one of our topics of conversation. So, we're trying to keep this episode a little bit more fun, a little bit more jovial. So let's dive right into the things happening in Minneapolis. All right, so for those of you who know me, I live in Minneapolis, so I see a lot of this stuff firsthand. And so Adam wanted me to sort of maybe give my perspective. I think a lot of this stuff gets blown up a little bit on the news, obviously, and things go viral, the one clip. And obviously, it's been a lot of tragic events that have happened, and I'm not trying to downplay or diminish that in any way. But it's not like the city's on fire like it was a few years ago when my wife and I packed up our bags and got the hell out of the city for a week. It was a little scary there for a couple days. I'd say it's quieted down now. Protests are still happening, but the protesters here in Minneapolis, especially during the winter. Now, wait till summer comes around and the weather's warmer. I don't know what it'll look like, but I'm curious to know if let's just start around the room. Mark, let's start with you. You have any immediate thoughts or commentary, or have you covered this on your own show, the things going on here in Minnesota?
No, not yet. But I figure in the spirit of positivity of this celebration, I'm going to pull a white pill out of this shit. So
awesome.
What I was thinking about was the long term and the trends. So I thought about 9/11, and I thought about COVID, and now I'm thinking about Minneapolis. 9/11, I would say it took probably 10, 15 years before it was more or less allowable to even question the terror wars. I mean, that shit just stayed in the public mind as like, you got to support this. COVID, I'd say about 2 years maybe. It took about 2 years before it was, allowable out there to talk about it. Those of us who were skeptical were talking about it, but you remember cancel culture, all that. I think this ice shit started about December. I think that's about when it really hit. This isn't a month when it is very much allowable to be skeptical of it. So I realize that, that's not necessarily a perfect analogy of events, but when you look at that, 25 years ago, it took 10, 15 years for the public to be allowed to be skeptical. COVID, 2 years, this, 1 month. To me, that's a white pill because it shows a trend that skepticism is generally growing. Doesn't mean anarcho-capitalism is necessarily moving forward, anything like that. I'm just talking about general skepticism. So if the public is allowed to be this skeptical this quickly, it kind of shows that propaganda is starting to fail a little bit. And Dave Smith's actually talking about it a lot. So to me, I see a really great trend in that.
Mark, I love you because of the white pill. I got to come back on your show real soon because I always feel better doing it because I'm Mr. Black Pill over here. Hey, Adam, before we move on, should we bring on another guest?
Why not?
All right, who's this guy sitting in the waiting room?
This is the guy who is responsible for this travesty you are currently participating in and witnessing. Welcome to the show, my buddy Brian O'Leary.
I didn't know I was responsible for this, Adam.
It wasn't my idea to start writing and podcasting. You talked me into it. You twisted my arm. You kidnapped my wife. I mean,
There you go. All right.
Hey, Brian,
I
you like
apologize for not having a pipe.
we have a piped side of the show and a non-piped side of the show, I guess.
that's not a sound effect, is it? What is that?
Tyrone, you sound terrible all of a sudden.
I
I'm
do.
getting some weird feedback.
Yeah, I think that's Tyrone's mic. Well, welcome to the show, Brian. Collect your thoughts. We're talking about the Minneapolis debacle. I asked Tyrone to explain himself and take responsibility for not only the ICE thing and the protesters, but whatever happened with Derek Chauvin and St. George Floyd and the Somali refugees, or not refugees, illegal immigrants stealing all our Medicaid money. And I was just asking him to explain himself for all that. Scott Horton, my friend, what do you think about the whole Minnesota thing? Personally, I'm rooting for little Timmy the retard Walls to actually secede from the union and hope that it causes a bunch of people to carry over the same idea. What say you?
I'm against Minnesota. I always have been.
Oh, no, I'm losing Scott. He's against Minnesota. That's all I got. Are you back? You said you were against Minnesota.
I think my internet froze up there for a second. Yeah.
The good old StreamYard probably can't handle bandwidth. How do I sound now, Adam?
You're better.
Okay. All right.
So you're against Minnesota.
Yeah. Am I freezing still?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're okay. So, but before
it's like
before
80 degrees outside. How could I freeze?
That's right. That's right. Before we let Scott continue, Brian, hi. You and I have never met, but we are sort of counterparts, I suppose, with Adam being the linchpin in the middle. So Adam has another podcast that he hosts with Brian here. You want to plug that a little bit, Adam, or did you do that already and I missed it?
I meant to, but I didn't. Yeah, when Brian talked me into this, we started the Natural Order podcast and put out, I don't know, 27, 28 great episodes. We're sort of on a hiatus now until something comes along and inspires us to get together, get the old team back together. But that's a great show, I think.
I say,
Not much in the news these days.
Right,
I defer to the cigarette boat known as Haman Nature to get Adam's stuff out there.
Yeah, we launched out pretty fast. I'm sorry, Scott. I need you to elaborate. We're all against Minnesota. Sorry, Tyrone, but be more specific. Do you think we should drop nukes on Minneapolis or what?
Oh, I don't know. Drop nukes on them? I guess so. Was that do I guess I'm against federal cops more than local ones. Was that the question? What's the question exactly?
You can answer any old question you want here on Haman Nature.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about Minneapolis, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Here's the thing that maybe the only interesting thing that I have to say about it, and it might not even be interesting, it's just about the partisanship of the interpretation of everything that happened there. And especially the deliberate, or actually I shouldn't say that, the maybe completely innocent exclusion of details that fall outside of the purview of the point of view of everybody analyzing the videos of these two ICE killings, so that when, as some great Twitterer wrote, when new footage comes out that's slower and clearer and from better angles, then both sides are still reinforced in their own point of view. Nobody changes their mind. Nobody goes, oh, well, I did think this, but now I think that. They all still believe the same thing, only harder, even in the face of new evidence, which you would think would really sway people one way or the other. A good example of this is in the case of the shooting of the lady. The people who take the side of the cop virtually always neglect to mention that she reverses to the left before going forward to the right, because she's clearly trying to get a better angle around the cop. She's not trying to run him over. She's trying to get between him and the truck. Doesn't mean she was smart to do that, but you don't ever hear someone say, okay, now she does back up to the left in order to turn to the right, but I still think it was okay for the cop to shoot her. Just if you think it was okay for the cop to shoot her, you just leave out that part because it goes against your side of it at all. I'm sure there's another example from the left side of that one, but then on the other
up and to the right, they covered it in Seinfeld. Up and to the right.
Up and to the right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you saying is,
in the one where they shot the guy, everybody knows this, but they don't talk about. I don't think either side really emphasizes the fact that as soon as the cop who ended up shooting him, I think it was the same one. No, it was the other cop.
No, it's the other cops. The one guy grabbed his gun and
saw the gun. He goes, gun, 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 which is what they train cops to do, which is the same thing as essentially saying, panic, 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 right? Instead, he could have simply said, the guy has a gun in the small of his back. I'm going for it. Okay, I got it. But
instead,
he grabbed it. He said, gun, gun, gun. And then he grabs it and he
torched off around.
It.
Yes.
And then when he misfires it, I've just seen cops do this in numerous cases before. One cop accidentally fires and even will shoot another cop, say a SWAT team in a file line going inside a house. And then they all kind of open fire in a panic as soon as they hear a gunshot. And so but then you see people say, which I still think it's an unjustified shoot, but people go, they disarmed him and then they executed him. And it's like, nuh-uh. The one cop shouted, panic, 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 and then fired a damn round into the ground and the other cops panicked. That's what happened. So that makes it man one, not murder one. So it's just as bad. But anyway, I just think my point is that about Obi-Wan Kenobi sitting on the log saying a great many of the truths we cling to are dependent on our own point of view. And you could just be so bound by that, actually, that you have no idea how bound by that you actually are, maybe. That's everybody.
I had this discussion with my 8-year-old. I had this discussion with my 8-year-old son the other day. We were watching Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, wherever that came from. And he's like, Obi-Wan lied. Obi-Wan lied.
Well, Adam, let me defend my city.
That nuance.
Yeah.
A little bit. So I love my city. I love Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a great place to live, even in the brutal winters. Whatever side you come down on this whole ICE thing, I just think this was the wrong approach. So as a libertarian, I think incentives matter. And I think where there's a way to do something through an economic incentive is always better than doing something through a use of force. I think I'd like to get Stephan's input here, Stephan. If the administration was serious about just removing illegal immigrants, would the more peaceful, easier solution just be to sort of impose? I'm just thinking of one example way to do it: impose some sort of fine against any employer that hires someone that's an illegal or something like that. So it seems to me that the administration is using this show of force with some other intent behind it. Any thoughts like that?
Yeah, I've been to Minneapolis. I think it's a wonderful city. I think I heard that some kid asked his dad, who works for ICE. He came home from work. He says, "How are things at work?" He says, "Pretty good."
That's the greatest answer I've ever heard.
Okay, but no. So my take on it is, even if you're a anti-open borders, anti-mass immigration libertarian, there are still procedures that the police and the federal agents have to follow, right? Due process, Bill of Rights, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. On the other hand, the government is inept at everything, so you're going to have to expect that this is what's going to happen when they're in charge of things. Now, personally, I think that most people are against mass immigration for the wrong reasons, right? They're afraid of driving down wages and things like that. So I don't personally think that the government should prevent employers from hiring people. Of course, the right way to do it is just to remove the franchise and remove welfare benefits, and then then what would be the problem? But yeah, there's more peaceful ways to do this, obviously, than doing that. And also, they could target just people that have committed crimes coming out of the jails. And of course, Minnesota is not cooperating with this. But my main takeaway from this is libertarians were all in favor of nullification and decentralization 10, 15 years ago. They should stand up for Minnesota having the right to just nullify any federal action on their territory that they don't want. Even if you're in favor of federal immigration policy or enforcement, from a federalist point of view, the state of Minnesota has the right to just not allow the enforcement of laws they regard to be illegal or unconstitutional or just wrong.
Yeah, but is that really Minnesotans saying that, or is it Jacob Frey and Tim Walz saying that? Because the average Minnesotan, I don't know, Tyrone, you could be an example of an average Minnesotan. Frey have abdicated their jobs. They've abdicated their responsibility here. And so thus ICE comes in. Yeah, I would say it would be better if ICE never had to come in, but for crying out loud, and this is happening all over the country. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Same thing happens there. The local police are hands off. They can't do anything. And it's not just the border stuff. It's the crime. Adam and I have talked about it on our other show. It's the crime around the legalization of drugs. It's not the drugs themselves. It's just the rampant crime involved with that they don't do anything about. Fine, drugs, whatever. But they don't do anything about the crime. They don't do anything about the crime that these immigrants, there was a deal in Portland a while ago where there was and it didn't get as much news as the Minneapolis thing, but ICE agents shot two I think they were Venezuelan, Tren de Aragua or whatever the heck that gang is. They shot him. It was a very similar thing to this gal in the van in Minnesota, but they were hostile to the cops. They shot. Cops shot back.
So I'm hearing a bunch of different things, guys. Gang members are bad. Scott says chicks can't drive and cops can't handle firearms. I get that. Kinsella says we need complete and total anarchy. I get that. Mark said some smart stuff too. But I'm more interested in like Scott's initial tweet when I think the lady got shot in the minivan or whatever it was that however you felt about this issue, nothing changed when the videos come out. So I'm curious if anybody of you seen anybody change their mind after seeing more information? Because from my perspective, if you like what ICE is doing, you totally think each bullet fired was sent from God. And if you don't like what ICE was doing, then
I'll tell you what. So that was actually my first tweet, Adam, was the facts are clear. If you lean left, the cop murdered the lady. And if you lean right, she had it coming.
That's right.
Then I'll tell you what, I got quite a few responses that said, well, I lean right and I'm against it. Bullshit. And I didn't have anyone say I lean left and I'm for executing the lady or shooting her in the face to death. But there were quite a few right wingers who actually said that they beg to differ with that. But by and large, that basically is right. As you put it, that if you support the policy, then you support the collateral damage because you just want to see this thing through. And we saw a lot of that, including from some right wing friends. They're like, yeah, well, those are the breaks, pal, which really sucks because they're so stuck behind their own eyeballs, they don't really realize that, like, nah, your support for this kind of thuggery, just going around and harassing random people to check them for their citizenship and stuff, is immediately, obviously going to and already has blown up in their face, not just with the killing. And by the way, did you guys notice this? That the cops that killed the white people were all Mexicans, which I just thought
I did notice that.
But then...
or Honduran or something like that.
Or something. Yeah, they're all Latino anyway. Yeah. But then support for immigration enforcement and deportations has plummeted. At least according to the polls I've seen, is just absolutely through the floor because people go, oh, well, this is what that looks like. Then we don't want to do it. And in fact, it's a conspiratorial time. What the hell, man? One of us could, I guess, probably even imagine the Epstein email if we had to, that like, you could see them conspiring to actually sabotage mass deportations on behalf of the Democrats and on behalf of big business that wants downward pressure or to relieve some upward pressure on wages. To actually, what we'll do is we'll unleash the lowest level ICE thuggery for a short time in order to destroy public support for the policy. And, I don't think they're going to open the southern border again, but rounding people up by the millions and millions and millions and exporting them, that's already canceled because of this. And so it's just one step of logic to think, yeah, that's why they did it. It's because they never wanted to see this through in the first place. Not that I'm advocating it, but I'm just saying you could
that's
that anyway.
I kind of suspect that there might be an ulterior motive for doing it this way. That's why I pose the question. I do want to go to Stephan and sort of move to our next topic, because I think this demonstrates the divide in America. So Minnesota is typical, like a lot of states. It's a very divided state where you have a lot of densely populated cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, and the rest of the state is more rural farm country. And so you've got a red-blue split that is irreconcilable. And when you have irreconcilable differences, I say, Stephan, maybe we should start talking about national divorce. What say you?
Well, of course, I've always been in favor of a decentralization across the country, across the world, within a state. Sure, that would be a good thing. I don't know how likely it is. I do think it seems more likely than before. Like if you look at the doomsday clock type things, if you look at a clock, are we closer to national divorce than ever? I think so, but it still seems like it's far away. But I mean, if you think about this effort to deport the illegals, it's not going to happen. Just like when Doge went after government spending, all they were doing is going after the low-hanging fruit. It was very minor, and even that caused an uproar. So basically, it's impossible to cut spending as well because the public doesn't like the way you do it, which is you have to cut spending. So it seems like it's impossible to stop this runaway train, like Lynn Alden says about federal spending. No one's going to stop this train, and no one's going to undo the problem with the illegal immigration from the past. All we can do is number one, try to reduce the inflows, which it seems like Trump has done. And, I think reform welfare and reform citizenship, something like that.
Adam, before we move on
I would argue
to this titillating topic. Sorry, Brian, we'll get to 1 second. We've got somebody else that wants to join us, Adam. Do you want to crowd this room even more?
I would, except I see in the thumbnail he ain't ready. But I do think that.
Oh yeah, you walked away. Never mind.
Let me just add.
I do think that.
About the national divorce.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're still with us, you're frozen a little bit. There
I was going to say we're already. Yeah, we're already. Yeah, what is going on here? I don't know. Well, we're already divorced, and we're living under the same house.
We just haven't moved out yet.
You got a divorced couple living under the same house. Yeah, haven't moved out, just arguing about the thermostat. That's all it is. And I don't know that that's going to change. That's reconciling a divorced family, divorced couple. Right now is the official moving or the cleaving is probably in the future, as Stephan says. But I see we're already divorced. I mean, there's a lot of people.
We're living in different rooms, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
And we want more domestic violence. Hey, Tyrone. We've had a show for 2 years. We're on our 200th episode.
We sure are.
Did you do any research? I mean, I think people have sometimes gone onto our YouTube page and said stuff about our show, right?
Oh my God.
Did you look up any cool things people said about how awesome we were?
Man, people love us so much.
That's so good to hear.
So let me can I add something about the YouTube page? I just found out this morning that I was not subscribed. And I talk about it all this time. It's like, how easy is it to say at the end of every episode, like, subscribe, comment, I didn't even do it. I hadn't even done it. I don't do it for most podcasts. But again, I implore the listeners, if you're not subscribed, just subscribe right now. in front of you. Just click the subscribe button.
Amen, brother.
Well, Adam, speaking of the great fanfare and love and adulation we get, we'd like to sprinkle in a few viewer comments during this episode. So this episode, or this comment from a viewer at Jeffiner 9947. Hey, thanks for the comment. Commented on episode 164 of Haman Nature, where we were talking about Jimmy Kimmel getting fired from a show. Remember that lasted 30 minutes? Jeffiner 9947 says, "This was your best episode yet. Absolutely. I want peace. I don't want to use force against anyone. I couldn't love you guys more. Thank you. Great episode." Thank you, Jeffiner 9947. We feel the same way.
And here I was being sarcastic. I didn't know we had positive ones.
There's not many.
Oh, you guys couldn't tell that was sarcastic?
Oh, shit. I should have read it sarcastic. All right, Adam. Is the other guest? It looks like he's back in his chair. You want to bring him on?
All right. Welcome.
All right, here. I'm going to dip out of here, guys. I got work.
Hey, Scott. Thank you for joining, man. We love you, man.
Scott, before you bail, give me 20 seconds. Lean into the camera there and either say how awesome we are or how retarded we are in as funny or straight a manner that you want.
Oh, okay. This show's okay.
Thank you,
I'm
Scott
putting on a
Horton.
t-shirt. Scott Horton.
Thank you very much for doing this, Scott.
Thanks,
I appreciate
brother.
it.
Yeah, y'all have a good one.
Well, good luck, Mark Puls. You got big shoes to fill. From the Knocked Conscious and the If by Whiskey podcast, welcome, Mark Puls.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking at the panel and I am just gushing. See Mark Maresca, and Stephan. Oh, it's great. It's great seeing everybody.
Mark P, how you doing, brother?
Good, good. How are you, Tyrone?
And Eminem, since we have two Marks here. How about Eminem, Mark?
Yeah, Mark Maresca he's like triple M now. So, man, I'm listening in the back, and it's like I've got all my conspiracy hat. I got some extra foil. We can start.
Well, Mark, before new Mark, before we get any further, who are you? And why don't you give a little plug for your little corner of the world?
I am a supporter of the Adam Haman Nature Show. That's what I know. The 200th episode. Congratulations, guys.
You're the president of our fan club.
So I'm just a basic guy who had weird stuff happen to him. And in 2020, I just started talking about it. And I'm like a retarded polymath. So I will talk deep and wide about any subject that I don't know, but I'm good conceptually. But, I don't have all like maybe the math numbers or something, but I generally have understandings of things. But my curiosity is off the charts. So notconscious.com. Also have If by Whiskey. So Mark Maresca was on there as well. You were on as well. Both of you guys, Adam and Tyrone.
It was a pleasure.
New co-host, Jake Day. But Jason just had a baby girl. So really excited
Jason's
for
on
his
with the show anymore?
journey. Yeah, he had a baby girl, so he's busy, and I love that for him. I also am suffering without him. He's
taking some paternity
Mark
leave.
Maresca can speak to that. Mark knows exactly what's up.
Yeah, Jason is also on the invite list. He has not arrived yet, but if he does, I'll pop him right on. We're going to move on to our next topic if you guys are amenable. But first, I want to read my own YouTube comment from our little show. This one is the one where me and Charles Melchin analyzed the Netflix series Adolescence about the white male rage. And so this is from @TheFredKalis. This is episode 172. And he says, quote, "I'm disappointed it's not with Bob Murphy. LOL." I like that comment very much. Thank you, @TheFredKalis.
Adam, so for those of you who watch the show, you know that Adam does an episode every week, crossover episode between the Bob Murphy Show and Haman Nature, and they share the episode on each other's channel. We are approaching, in the next few months, it'll be the 100th episode of your crossover. So
no, that can't be true.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? If only, Adam, they could go somewhere to get like that shirt you're wearing with the special URL. in celebration of that crossover,
I think everybody with any fashion taste whatsoever should go to shop.hamannature.com. That's shop.hamannature.com. And you can get this t-shirt, which is awesome. Comes in multiple colors, multiple designs, plus hoodies, sweatshirts, hats. I don't even know what's on there. Yeah,
but if you need merch for not just the Haman Nature merch, but you want to set up your own merch for your own thing, go to theswanbrothers.com/cross.
Amen. Absolutely.
I'm not frozen.
You just mean
nudging you here.
No, it's cross for that one. It's crossover for Scott's thing, because we're not smart about being consistent. Yeah, theswanbrothers.com/cross for all your branding, merchandising needs.
Since we've got a few people here, how's our chat looking at them? We got a few people in the chat. Okay. We are at the point of the show where we're ready to play a game. Mark, Brian, Stephan, are you ready to play the brand new exciting game? A Warmonger says, what? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at my ladybugs. That's what I say.
Welcome to a brand new game called A Warmonger Says What? Here's how it's going to work, everybody. I'm going to read a series of quite multiple choice questions of quotes that politicians or pundits may have said. You're going to guess who said it. When I say reveal your answer, Stephan, Mark, and Brian, you're going to hold up fingers so we can see either 1, 2, or 3. So you're picking the first or second or third selection, right? And hold them up so we can kind of see. Adam's going to keep track of the score. Now, you guys just get to play along for fun. You don't get to win anything, but very exciting for our folks in the chat. This is where you get to participate as well.
When in doubt, the answer's C.
That's right.
That's right.
It's no C, but I love it. When I say reveal your answer, chat, go ahead and type in the number 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Everybody gets a point for a right answer, no points for a wrong answer. At the end, whichever 2 people in our chat and our viewers playing along here on YouTube, in the YouTube chat, whoever has the most, 2 people who have the most points are going to win themselves a $25 gift card that they can use at shop.hamannature.com to buy yourself some cool Haman Nature swag. All right. So pretty simple. Everybody understand? I'm gonna show a question, give you guys a second to think about your answer. Then I'll ask you to reveal. Hold up your fingers 1, 2, or 3. All right. Here we go. Sort of. All right. A Warmonger says, what? Question 1. All right. This person said, quote, I'm not a violent individual. I'm just a conservative. Was this Marjorie Taylor Greene, Sarah Palin, or Laura Loomer? All right. Give yourself a second to think about it. Chat, are you ready? Okay, everybody, reveal your answers. Stephan says 1. Brian says 3. Mark says 3. And Mark P, are you saying 2? You're saying 2. Who was it?
I don't have a weapon on me. You can check me. I'm not a violent individual. I'm just a conservative, okay?
That was Laura Loomer, the great conservative intellectual who's been blowing up. All right, so let's see here. Who got that right? Was it Eminem and Brian? Yeah. All right. Stephan and Mark P guessed it wrong.
Yeah. But I meant to say 2.
You meant to say 2. I got you. Okay. Adam,
which was also wrong.
You keeping track of the score?
So far, I have the score. I make no promises as to whether that will continue.
All right, we got a lot of people in the chat, so hopefully you can keep up. We might have to calculate the scores after the break, which will be coming up after this game. Okay, here we go. Question number 2. All right, who said, quote, this is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest from the standpoint of water? Was that Trump, Bushy Jr., or Joe Biden? Give yourself 1 second to think about it, and everybody reveal your answers. Stephan says 1, Mark says 1, Brian says 1, and Mark P says 2, Bushy Jr. The answer is, of course,
this is a tough hurricane, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
From the standpoint of water, it's one of the wettest we've ever seen. Mark P, you're
giving the wrong people too much credit. I'm giving the wrong people too much credit. I'm telling you.
All right, so everybody got that right except my boy If I Whiskey. He started drinking a little early. That's all right. I am too. You know, there's something in this tumbler. I'm just saying. Okay, Adam, are you ready to move on?
I am.
All right, Adam's got the scores. Here we go. Question 3. Quote, it's 3 agencies when I get... Oh. Okay, I just want to say, I was up till 1 a.m. last night working on all these graphics and everything. And
who did you say is responsible for the production of this show, Tyrone? Who was that? What spiky fellow was that? This vagabond rodent? Who?
So yes, there's a there. It's 3 agencies when I get there are gone. Commerce, education, and what's the third? Was that
Hot Wheels?
Quail? Was that Rick Perry or Steve Forbes? Stephan Kinsella says 2. Mark Maresca, what are you saying? You're also going 2, Brian 2, and wow, we have uniform consensus. All right, chat, go ahead and type in your answers. Okay, who said this amazing quote?
And I will tell you, it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
I had to throw that one in because the great Ron Paul
Fed?
just happened
to the Fed, right? He was going to say the Fed. I swear he was. I swear he was going to say the Fed.
One
I have no
thing
idea.
they
Does
would
anybody
never say.
even know?
Energy, right?
Didn't he become the Secretary of Energy?
It was going on during Enron for sure. It was energy. Had to be.
All right, everybody got that one right. Everybody got that one right. Great. Okay, we're on to question 4. All right, quote, don't let anyone tell you that it's corporations and businesses that create jobs. Was that Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama? Okay, everybody?
All of them. It was all of them.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Can I choose all the above?
All right, everybody reveal your answers. Kinsella says Barack Obama. Mark says Barack Obama. Brian says Mark P. What do you say? I can't really see your...
That's
Are you saying
Bernie
1?
Sanders.
You're saying Bernie Sanders. Okay, who was it? Oh, chat, put in your answers. Here we go.
Don't let anybody tell you that, it's corporations and businesses that create jobs.
Nobody got that right? Airball?
That was Hillary.
Everyone either took Bernie Sanders or everyone took Obama. I don't know which one you went. That's how I heard Obama say it. I did not hear Obama say it. I heard Bernie say that. It just sounds like a Bernie thing to say.
Dude, really I like the voices. I always wish I could do like impersonations. I would try to do one, but I can't. Here's my best Adam Haman impersonation. How do you turn on this computer?
Very nice. Very nice.
But you need like a 42 octave lower. Like, how do you turn on this computer?
Right. All right, question 5. Here we go. All right. I've now been in 57 states with 1 left to go. Was this Bushy Jr., Joe Biden, or Barack Obama? Okay, everybody reveal your answers. Chat, enter in your answers there. I love that someone in our chat is Brian. Oh, that's chatting with the letter C.
He's gotten everyone right. It's always T.
All right. Does everybody have their answers? Okay. Here we go. Stephan, what are you guessing? You're guessing number 1. Okay, here we go.
it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months, we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
Okay, that was Barack Obama. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final
giant.
What's that?
Are you sure that wasn't Mandela effect? Did we go into did CERN get us in a different dimension? Did it branch us off? What's going on?
I absolutely believe we might be in the Matrix for sure. All right, this is the final question, everybody. Question 6. Okay, so really put on your thinking cap for this one. After finishing the NDA, this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of I put a little impersonation effects to it. Was that Mitch O'Connell, Harry Reid, or James Carville? All right, everybody, reveal your answers. Chat, type in your answers. This is the last one. Here we go.
After finishing the NDA,
no.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Cocaine Mitch.
I can tell a stroke out when I see one.
No, that is locked-in syndrome. It happens to senators and turtles.
1,000-yard stare he's got right there.
Which one is he, Adam?
All right, I didn't want to be overly bad with that one. Normally I feel bad about making someone making fun of someone with a some sort of medical problem, but fuck Mitch McConnell.
You heard it here, not first.
Out, I could smell his burnt toast. I couldn't. I smelled oranges. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew.
All right, guys. Well, that was the world premiere of a Warmonger. For tuning in to the first half of our show, we are going to take a break. When we come back from the break, Adam is going to calculate who the winner of those $25 gift cards was in the chat. But folks, remember, I promised you something amazing when I came back from the break. You are not going to believe what it is. It's a world premiere music video created by Haman Nature Records. You don't want to miss this one.
Are we recording the video for that music right now? Is that what this is?
No, this is just our, we're This is don't you? Yes. All right. Well, guests, you are welcome to stick around. We'd love to have you keep with this. And for in the waiting room, stick around. We're going to take a short break.
Short bathroom break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. For the 2.5 people that stuck with us through the break, thank you for doing that. Adam, before we announce the winner of our giveaways, we have another guest to bring on. Can we crowd in more people into this thing?
Only one way to find out.
Let's say hello
They still have to be done, but it's
to Jason. But I'm sad about you leaving the show.
I feel like Alice right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad too. Yeah, If by Whiskey, it's just not the same without me, if I do say so myself.
It is not the same, man. It's good. It's not the same.
It's better, actually.
Oh
no, brother.
Can't be true. Jason, welcome.
Cool.
Thank
who
you.
the goddamn hell are you, and why do I have you on my show?
I'm nobody. I'm just a guy that was around during the COVID madness and decided that I had something to say. Started a podcast when it looked like maybe it was coming back around 2023. Had Adam on the show, had Tyrone and Adam again on our If by Whiskey show that I do with Mark Puls there. And yeah, it turns out I think I don't actually have that much to say. So I've been on hiatus for a while and I'm learning. I'm back to learning, but yeah, happy to be here. It's called Drop the Mask Pod. You'll see my sweet logo in the background here. I still write a little bit on Substack. I've started to do that. It's free. Go follow me there if anyone wants to.
What's that Substack called?
dropthemaskpod.substack.com.
Thank you for joining us.
Also, the If by Whiskey intro, outro, and the Not Conscious intro, outro, all Jason's work. So
and they're baller.
Kudos on that.
Cool.
The intro's bomber. Everyone like
Oh.
gushes over when they see it. So thank you.
I told you guys that when I was on the show. It's way better than the Haman Nature intro. So nice work on that.
Right. Tyrone, but he's a human, and you're just a porcupine.
That's true. Porcupine's zero trouble.
It's an unfair advantage, I admit. Yes.
Yes,
Welcome,
but the
Jason.
hobo gives them a half a point advantage.
That's right.
The hobo part is kind of a cool.
Adam.
Yeah, I miss hobos.
Do we have winners to announce?
We do.
All right.
We do.
I need a drum roll.
No. All right.
Not
Yes.
no drum roll.
Do we
Who
just
do we lose?
somebody?
Oh, we lost Kinsella. Is he gone?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
He's offended
he'll either
by the
pop
layout.
back or he won't. That's exactly right. Before we reveal the winners, I just wanted to read another comment on our YouTube channel.
Excellent.
This was from when you and I, Tyrone, were criticizing the great and famous and terrible Matt Walsh, saying he was basically a lefty for wanting government intervening in this and that and the other, like any other lefty. So somebody called, this is episode 161. Go check it out. Haman Nature.
Great episode. So good.
At Butter Your Own Bagel said, quote, "Hope this video stays in the hundreds of views."
Don't worry. It will.
It's better than the tens of views.
See? This guy doesn't even know
You're in
what he's
triple
saying.
digits. It's better than I've ever done.
So, a Matt Walsh fan, I appreciate that. Yes, we do have winners on the game. And
All
I'm
right,
calling...
hang on 1 second. I do want to say, folks, whether you love us or hate us, actually, I love reading the negative comments more than anything. So bring it. All right, Stephan. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. All right, Adam.
I think his next documentary is "What is a Statist?" I think Matt Walsh is next.
All right, Adam. Are you ready?
Yes.
Who's the winner?
I am calling an audible.
Okay.
Just because of the way the scores panned out. We have one clear winner in here and one clear winner in the chat. And so I'm going to gift one of our 25. Yes. That's what I'm doing. Calling an audible.
Whatever. It's your show, man.
Calling an
Doesn't have
audible.
my name on it.
So in the chat, the great Brian D. O'Leary just crushed the field. So he's going to be getting a $25 coupon. I mean, after all, I jumped off of Natural Order podcast a little bit and then got in my cigarette boat. I gotta give this guy some merch.
All right. The FCC can find us later, anyways.
But in the chat, there was also one just clear winner, and it was at Chuck Money. Just demolished the field. So
nice.
That guy.
Congratulations,
That guy sounds familiar.
Chuck Money.
Nice.
Shoot me an
how does he
email.
get his gift card?
$32 option on two.
On two.
He's a robot. He's a robot.
I don't care. Robots can wear shirts. Look at Optimus. So yeah, Chuck Money, send me an email, adam@hamannature.com, and I will get you hooked up with your gift certificate to our merch store. What is that merch store? Why, it's shop@hamannature.com, I tell you. Shop at hamannature. No, lies. Shop.hamannature.com.
I tried going there, but it gives me a bunch of Michael Jackson stuff.
How is that a state? How is that a state not giving me royalties at this point?
All right, Adam, I sent you a text, but you obviously didn't get it. On-air production meeting. Remove the background logo, please. All right.
Why tell it that it's Haman Nature?
All right. Where do you want to go steer this train wreck? Oh, yeah. We promised people something so groundbreaking before the break. Something so amazing that this was worth the cost of admission, which was nothing.
Which was nothing.
It was me? Oh.
Okay. All right,
what you pay for, gentlemen.
Adam, let me set this up a little bit. We have done a couple of what we'll call cultural critique episodes, right? We talk about Oscar movies or things in the music scene. So we've done a couple episodes now critiquing the conservative rapper Tom MacDonald.
And celebrating, critiquing,
and celebrating. Yeah, I'm a big fan, but also a critic. He's a conservative, a MAGA Trump supporter. Obviously, I'm not. So where I agree with him, I praise him, and where I don't agree, but I also think he's a very gifted and talented musician. By the way, Adam, he dropped a new video yesterday, so we might have to do another episode on that with our buddy Charles if he's available. Anyway. During the Trump campaign, the presidential election campaign last year, he came out with several very political songs. One was called "The Devil is a Democrat," which I completely agree with. However, from the libertarian, the Porcupine, Hobo perspective, Republicans are kind of devilish too. So Adam had this idea, and Adam,
what? All right, what I did is
hey Adam, that's your cue. Hey Adam,
I just thought I had to play the damn video. I didn't know I had to explain it. So yeah, we critiqued this thing, and then I told ChatGPT, no I didn't, I told Grok to rewrite the lyrics of Tom MacDonald's song but make it "The Devil is a Republican." And so it did. It was great. I published that. It was hilarious. And Tyrone had one idea better, which is, hey, let's set this to music and make a music video, which he did. It's pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere, the soon-to-be epically viral music video. Ladies and gentlemen, "The Devil is a Republican."
Woohoo!
Hit it, Adam.
The war drums beat on every channel. They think we're blind like the truth's too much to handle. They lock you up for a plan, call it justice, while their cronies cash in private prisons busting. They wave the flag for endless wars. Send your kids to die on foreign shores, while their buddies in the Pentagon score defense contracts. They want more. They want cameras in your bedroom tracking every move you make. They want freedom in a cage, call it safety for the state's sake. They want war, they don't want peace. They want drones in our streets. They want your life on a leash. Liberty's what they defeat. I swear the devil lives in Washington. He's a politician. He's passing laws that crush your rights for patriotic fiction. Yeah, the devil lives in Washington, should be in prison. He's got horns, but he hides them with a cross and a mission. Cause the devil is a Republican and we don't buy that. They say they love your liberty, we know it ain't that. The devil is a Republican and we ain't with it. We ain't dealing, y'all are scheming, freedom's how we're living, dawg. They bust your door for a joint, call it law, while the donors get rich, that's the score. Big farmers, pills, get a pass. But your herbs a crime, they lock you fast. They want boots in every nation, bombing dreams for domination, while their corporate friends vacation, sipping wealth from exploitation. They want eyes on every phone, every text, you're never alone. They want power carved in stone, while your rights are overthrown. They want war, they don't want peace. They want cages not released. They want freedom on a leash. Liberty's their enemy. I swear the devil lives in Washington. He's a politician. He's passing laws that crush your rights for patriotic fiction. Yeah, the devil lives in Washington, should be in prison. He's got horns, but he hides them with a cross and a mission. Cause the devil is a Republican and we don't buy that. They say they love your liberty, we know it ain't that. The devil is a Republican and we ain't with it. We ain't dealing, y'all are scheming, freedom's how we're living, dawg. The devil is a Republican, that's the truth, that's a fact. They lock you up for weed while the cronies got your back. The devil is a Republican, it's a rap, it ain't new. They sell your freedom cheap, that's the proof. I swear the devil lives in Washington. $1 million deals. He's got buddies in the boardrooms. Power's all he feels. Gives you promises of safety. Just sign away your will. For your soul and your vote, it's a deal. Cause the devil is a Republican and we don't buy that. They say they love your liberty, we know it ain't that. The devil is a Republican and we ain't with it. We ain't kneeling, y'all are scheming, freedom's how we're living, dawg.
That's pretty catchy.
All right, folks. Spread That is going to hit YouTube immediately following this live stream. Follow it, like it, share it, because the double is a Republican and a Democrat and some other things. There might be some additional songs coming at them and what we might call a trilogy.
Oh, my Lord. Well,
if I know anything about
like
going viral.
Yeah, right. Sure, Jason.
If I know anything about going viral, and I don't, that's gonna definitely do numbers for you. It's gonna go blow up.
All right. Well, I
think Dave Smith's gonna tweet that. Dave Smith's gonna retweet that, and you'll be fine, guys. Clint Russell.
That was awesome, though. Awesome.
Yeah, Tyrone really nailed it on that, I think. Before we continue, while we're all feeling so special about the new Haman Nature, what did you call it? Productions? Haman Nature Studios?
Haman Nature Records.
There you go.
Records. I know it's an old-timey term.
I want to come back to earth with a couple more comments on our YouTube when we were attacking Matt Walsh.
Oh.
Here's a fella called @JohnStandup-K2P to differentiate him from all the other John Stand whatevers. Quote, one channel stealing another channel's content, recycling it, and acting like they're important. Laugh emoji. Thank you for that, John Stand.
Thank you, John. That was awesome.
-K2P. I appreciate it. There's one more.
Nobody does that on social media.
I replied, I said, you're describing the entire YouTube. That's everything. He said, no, that's only losers. Here's another one, same episode. Fella named @RobertWest4596. Quote, what a couple of bozos. Quit while you're behind.
Why did you post mine? Why did you have to find my pseudonym, guys? Why did you do that? I can't believe you did that to me.
Because
you exposed me. I was anonymous until just now.
Mark's so famous, he's got a burner account.
That's right.
Oh, right. You mean the 22 subscribers to our YouTube channel? And if I was, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
So, thank you, commenters.
Adam, Stephan, are you good to hang with us for a bit longer? What's your schedule like? You're good, man. Okay, because I really want I really want Stephan to be a part of our brand new segment that we're going to debut, and I'd move it up in the agenda if Stephan can hang it around. But since he seems like he's good, let's switch to another topic. Adam, what do you feel about Epstein files? Anybody got any thoughts on that, or is that just old news? I don't know.
I gotta go. Never heard of it.
Whoa!
It's a hoax. Hey, can you give us a hoax, Jason? Can you give us a little bit about who's saying it was a hoax and all that stuff? I remember you do that really well.
Oh, you talking to me? Oh,
yeah.
I was not prepared for this. Give me a second.
Give it to us, man. I know you didn't warm up, but come on, I gotta hear it. I missed it.
I don't know what to say. Give me a minute. Come back to me. Come back to me.
Are you saying you got a good Trump impersonation? Okay, we're going to circle back to you, Jason. Stephan, I feel like I haven't heard your sweet, dulcet voice in a while. Just hit us with some knowledge, man. What do you got to say?
Knowledge, huh? You know, to me, Epstein is just a detail. It's just a detail. I think it's a distraction, from the problem, which is taxation and war and the state regulations. I mean, I don't really care what happened 15 years ago with Epstein. I'm not surprised that all these powerful, corrupt people are involved with him and trying to cover for each other now. I don't buy the eating babies kind of conspiracy stuff too much. But I guess I'm just not following it too much. I'm more interested in lowering my goddamn taxes.
Figures that the guy in the tux is trying to make this thing all go away. Okay, buddy.
Is anybody else following the deep conspiracy stuff, the Candace stuff, the Tucker stuff, and anybody going down that rabbit hole at all?
I follow it all. I follow it all. It doesn't mean I believe it, but I follow it. I watch it all because to counter that, if I may, something about this is like. This reminds me, I was a pilot at one point, and you had a plane crash. This is the plane crash, right? What you're saying is pilot error. that doesn't stop the initial thing from existing, right? So this thing's still happening even without Epstein. Let's be clear that this didn't just, oh yeah, let's put a pin in it because this dude unalived himself per Cash's cross-eyed view and Dan Bongino. You know, like it's there's something deeper here because it's a continual thing. It just changes the figureheads. In my opinion.
Brian, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I guess I got it. Some thoughts. The idea, this conspiracy is like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of, frankly. And there's a lot of them to keep track of. And one of them being the fact that he was murdered. There's no evidence. It's fun to think that he was murdered. And I think a lot of these things, build upon that. But, I just think that all the evidence points to the fact that he hung himself, and, he was a bad guy, convicted once, about to be convicted again, I think was the whole thing. And, he ran out of steam, hung himself. He knew that, let's put it this way. If he knew that he had Trump by the short and curlies or anybody else by the short and curlies, he would have done it years ago. And so I think all this conspiracy stuff just falls from, the fact that, maybe consensus here is that he was killed. I don't believe that. But, like a lot of conspiracy theories, I think they're fun to think about. And I think the story would be better if it were true. I just don't believe it to be true.
Let's get away for a second from forget what happened in that jail cell, because Brian's right. We don't know. We all have theories based on.
There's some suspicious stuff, though.
There are, for sure, and there's motive also.
The one camera watching it just happened to go out, and the guards were sleeping.
I'm curious from Brian's perspective what he thinks about the truth of what Epstein was. Like, what has he been doing for these last 25 years or something?
Total mystery, and I get that. All the suspicion is warranted. I mean, the guy was a mysterious guy that morphed between. He just flowed between all these powerful people, and who knows how he did it. I can't remember what podcast laid it out. It might have been Daryl Cooper or one of these guys, but laid out a whole story, and has his origins as like a math teacher or something at a prep school that was founded by Bill Barr, my point is that all these, you can pull on some of these strings and they would make a great story, but it's still a mystery on who this Epstein fellow was and what he was doing with all these people. One thing that is with these files, releasing these files, and I think the biggest problem I have with the files being released is that a lot of people, I wouldn't say good people, but a lot of people's names are being sullied just by being mentioned. For instance, Bill Gates, who is a loathsome creature. I have nothing particularly good to say about him, except I'm on a Microsoft computer right now. Nothing particularly good to say about the guy, but he, this whole idea that he sent an email, or there was some email about him getting drugs for this STD that he got from a hooker in Russia and put it in his wife's drink or something. That email was never in the file. It was a draft that Epstein had written and never sent. So it was in Epstein's files. And so, Bill Gates' ex-wife was on this thing, and that she got asked a question about this, and she was very vague about it. Why shouldn't she be vague about it? It's probably not true, because the way this Epstein fella was able to blackmail or get influence with all these people, who knows? I mean, he was a magician at all that stuff. Like, so just by virtue of this being in the files doesn't mean that it was true. And I think a lot of people, and I believe that's why Trump didn't want these released, because he's going to be mentioned all over the thing. I mean, Epstein and Trump were chummy at one point, for crying out loud.
Speaking of a magician, one of our commenters in the chat has a question for Brian. It says, what makes you think this guy's dead?
What makes you think he's dead?
What makes you think Epstein's dead?
Well, I mean, to avoid going to in reducto ad Hitlerum,
he's drinking Mai Tais in Haifa.
Did Hitler kill himself or did Hitler go to Argentina? I mean, him going to Argentina is a way better story. Don't get me wrong; it's a way better story. It just didn't happen.
Let me move it over to by the way, I'm a total conspiracy theorist, so I'm gonna be on the opposite side of that.
Let's hear it. Let's get the conspiracies out.
I do have two questions for Brian, if I may. I do have two questions for Brian. But if I may, two questions for Brian. No,
you get one.
Or go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm just Robert Maxwell's daughter, who's with this guy, who also didn't unalive himself. Right, Brian, is not connected to the guy. And then the second question is, what we were told by the cross-eyed freak and Cuck Gino are lies.
Conveniently
They're
frozen.
just lies. So why would anyone believe it without any speculation is my question. So I lean 51-49 on the unaliving.
Sorry, Mark,
or on him not being unalive, not unaliving himself, if that makes sense.
We lose Brian.
You might have lost Brian to a freeze.
Oh no,
that's a great question.
Or is that a loss
for
words?
I love it, and I love a good debate.
Mark, sorry, I lost that.
It's the 200th episode celebration.
All right, hang it.
No, you guys are supposed to be telling us how awesome we are the whole time.
Let's do it another day. Yeah, let's talk another time. You guys are awesome. 200, man. Congratulations. Let's shift gears, man. I'm bipolar. Let's do it. I can lay off the lithium for a couple hours.
This makes me want to bring Mark Maresca into the
absolutely. Eminem hasn't spoken enough. Eminem.
And
White Pillows, Mark.
The specific question I have for you is exactly how great is the Haman Nature Show?
It's so good that it takes 200 episodes to get it this good in quality, production quality. That's how good it is. No,
I feel like that's a very twisty, curvy compliment, but thank you, Mark.
Well, you asked. Yes.
Brian, are you unglitching?
Adam, let's move on to something else here. We're going on an hour and a half here.
While you think of where we're gonna move, I got some more quotes.
Comments. Some more comments. All right.
Haman Nature episode 98, Bob Murphy, the great Bob Murphy, and I were talking about Trump's economic policies, and we got this comment by @Eric Skeptical, who says, quote, LOL, Democrats' opinions at this point aren't worth jack squat. Thank you for that, Eric Skeptical.
The next comment is called you a Nazi, right? You're called a libtard, then a Nazi, and then a lefty, and then a fascist, right? Is that?
It's
great when we're called everything, like the spectrum. Just call.
Let me give you one more. It's on the other side of the scale. When Robbie the Fire Bernstein was so magnanimous to come on my show and let me interview him, Haman Nature 140, a fellow named @JackBurton806 said, quote, I was surprised to find a YouTube channel with less views and subs than Robbie's Run Your Mouth. Then he says both are criminally ignored. So a little bit of a diss and then a compliment. So
I like that. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love the haters because don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing. All right. Adam, I'm going to call an audible myself. Let's move on to our brand new segment since we still have Stephan here, because I feel like of the group assemble, and no offense to anybody else, but Stephan is definitely the one most, let's say, economically knowledgeable among us to be able to explain libertarian, Misesian, Austrian economics here. Stephan, I don't want to speak for you, but you do consider yourself a Misesian and Austrian, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say you're more Mises, Rothbard? I know you're a big student of You know how you have brain farts sometimes on
You were just saying that I was
Papa,
sipping.
thank you. Good Lord.
I know where you're going with this.
Oh my God. The pressure, the stress of live streaming is getting to me, Adam. Normally, I sit behind computer in my pajamas, editing the shows. All right. Yes. So, do you really feel like there's a difference? Let me ask this general question, and then, Stephan, we're going to get into something a bit more specific. General question: Mises, Hayek, Rothbard, Hoppe. Do you really see them as different? Like, where's the overlap? Would you say they're 90% with minor differences between them?
There's a difference
do you see
between
a radical difference between Rothbard and, say, Hoppe?
Are you asking in economics or in political philosophy?
I don't
or what are you
know.
asking?
I'm just going to let Stephan interpret that question.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you. I'm actually. So right now, I'm working on this.
Nice.
We're doing a book in honor of Rothbard's 100th birthday, which is March 2nd next month, and we're going to release it that day. Hoppe and I are putting it together, and I'm working on my chapter right now, which is basically the title is Mises, Rothbard, and Hoppe: The Indispensable Framework. And in my view, those are the three most important thinkers in the Austro-libertarian tradition. Not Hayek. I'm actually not a fan of Hayek. I think what was good in Hayek was just sort of mealy-mouthed, warmed-over Mises, and the rest is not that good. I mean, I'm not a Hayekian at all. I'm not a fan of Hayek. I think he's a dilettante and murky and confused and just wrong. And he's not even a libertarian, not even hardly a classical liberal. Now, I think, to my mind, the strength of Rothbard and Mises is embodied in Hoppe. Hoppe took what was really good in Mises, which was his praxeology and his economic methodology, and he took Rothbard's radical libertarian anti-state politics. And Rothbard also was based his economics on Mises, but I think Rothbard did not emphasize scarcity as much as Mises did, and as much as Hoppe did. So I think that those three together are the most important foundation for the way I think we need to see the social, the social structure of the world.
Okay, that was super, super deep. So I've heard that criticism of Hayek before, Stephan, and I agree. However, I think he did do some good work. You're not going to dismiss all Hayek stuff.
My understanding is he did some good work on capital theory, which apparently like three people have read. And I haven't read much of that. I haven't read much of the detailed technical economics on capital theory. I think he did start to debunk Keynesianism. I don't think he quite finished. He started to do some decent work on business cycle theory, for which he won the Nobel Prize. But that was just basically, that was Mises's kind of idea.
Right.
His knowledge stuff and his politics and his legislation theory are all over the map. So I'm just not a huge Hayek fan, to be honest.
So when that documentary, I'm sure you've seen it, the Commanding Heights that PBS did probably 30 years ago now, where they were contrasting Keynes and Hayek, right, as the two post-World War II thinkers that shaped economics. You're really, am I interpreting you to say correctly that you're really thinking that Hayek really wasn't that much different from Keynes?
No, I think that like the video series based on that, the rap videos that John Popola did, Hayek versus Keynes. Those are great, amazing videos, and they showed the difference between sort of the Keynesian approach and the kind of Austrian approach of Hayek, which was a combination of Hayek's knowledge stuff, but also the Mises stuff about the importance of private property and prices and the business cycle theory. So I'd say 2/3 of the Hayek stuff presented in that video was solid because it was rooted in Austrian economics and classical liberalism.
So
Mises Austrian economics.
Do you think the road to serfdom then was just sort of rehashed Mises stuff, or?
I mean, when I tried to read that book, I mean, he's got some good stuff about why the worst rise on top. I couldn't finish the book. I was drinking beer in spring break in Florida at the time, so I can't really blame him.
You're
You're burying the lead. What's your brand? You're burying the lead.
What's that?
What are we drinking?
Right now, Big Boo Boo is drinking water.
Well, Stephan, you recently gave up alcohol, right?
I did. I haven't drank in over a year and lost some weight, in good shape. So I
congratulations
need to keep my brain
to you
going
for
because,
that. However,
yeah.
I mean, to each their own.
To each his own poison. I think so. I actually, even Milton Friedman, I liked in the beginning, and I still admire him, and he was a major influence. But in retrospect, now I've learned a lot more. I've read like Hoppe's and Walter Block's criticism of Hayek with fresh eyes, and they just go through a litany of what you might want to call deviations of Hayek on a lot of welfare. Hayek basically thought that any legislation was fine, even if it was welfare legislation, as long as it was prospective in general. I mean, okay, so he was against special interest legislation and retroactive legislation, but he's not really, in a principled way, against. Neither was Milton Friedman, but I mean, Milton Friedman was in favor of negative income tax and welfare. Although I think Friedman was kind of a pretty good libertarian overall. He didn't have a good foundation for it.
I agree with that.
He didn't have an argument for it, except for ignorance. But Hayek, I just don't know why people think of Hayek as a libertarian anymore. I haven't learned much from Hayek. So
I remember reading The Road to Serfdom, and it's all really good. It goes on explaining why, the government can't work. You can't do anything through government. And then at the end, or the last couple of chapters, I think he makes an exception for, I don't know, national defense. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was just like, what the hell? You just explained exactly why this doesn't work. And now you're saying, well, here's one exception.
Now, Brian, I'm going to ask a question here that I'm going to expect you're going to give a different answer from everybody else on. So I'm curious to know what the answer is here. Okay, everybody raise your hand if you are an anarchist. Okay, so Brian, you're definitely from what I know about you. Again, this is our first
Hang on a
time.
second,
Tyrone.
hang on just a second.
Yep.
I refuse to let this moment pass without letting Domenic Scarcella raise his hand.
Hold on a second. Where's the applause? I need the applause. Woo!
The show of Good Neighbor, Bad Citizen. I highly recommend you check that book out. Thank you for joining us, Dom.
I've been tuning in for the past a little more than an hour.
Oh, wow.
And enjoying the show and just kind of waiting for a time to join the call. Adam had said, yeah, I mean, you can join whenever, maybe try to be here for the last half. So I've been watching and listening and enjoying the banter.
So
Thank you for coming. I just want you to raise your hand like a dutiful anarchist. There you go.
There you go.
Now, first of all,
I think Tyrone's a Fed because he just got us to dox ourselves.
Yeah, right. Give me your addresses, your credit card numbers. No, this is so special for me because I've only I feel like I've vicariously met a lot of you through editing the show. So Domenic, nice to meet you virtually for the first time.
Same here. Nice.
Yes. Well, Brian just set me. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem, Brian. But let's see. Well, you know how you lose your train of thought? Adam, bail me out. Somebody bail me out.
I'll bail you out. I want to hear Brian's answer. He's ganged up on by all these lunatic anarchists who think we can have roads without the state.
I
want to hear.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brian's
Brian's
sort of although I think he's got reinforcements with Domenic. Domenic, you would not consider yourself to be an anarchist, would you?
Yes, he is.
I do. I'm a political anarchist. Yes.
Okay. All right. I stand
Yes.
corrected. Brian, you're solo, man. You're on a lone island.
All right. Complicated answer. I mean, I tend to be sympathetic to a lot of stuff you guys talk about. Dan McCarthy on Modern Age podcast last week or the week before, he had a show. His tag on Twitter and maybe all social media is Tory anarchist. So he laid that out, how those things are, being a Tory and being an anarchist are, do not really mix. Yet he laid out a pretty good case why he is, and I tend to be more on that end of the things, but I would encourage you guys to go listen to Dan's discussion of that. It's pretty interesting.
So what I heard is I've got really, really good reasons. I'm just not going to tell you.
Well, I would say I think order is much more important than liberty in a functioning society. And if we want the society not to function, then full fettered liberty is fine, and everybody gets what they want. But they don't really. I think order is more important than liberty.
Brian.
Boo! Boo!
Good point, Brian. Thank you. Don't pile on. I need to pause the. Oh no! Oh dear God, no! We had you know that scene in Crimson Tide when the guy is trying to get the radio to work, and he's like, "Scotty, we need more power. We need more power."
2 hours, Captain. All right. Adam,
For a half a second, we had Doc Dixon.
He's
here he is.
back. He's trying his best. He's on the cruise ship somewhere. But
Hold
hey,
on.
Doc Dixon! Holy
Doc
crap, we got so
Dixon.
many people here. It's fantastic. Hold on, Adam. We got to give everybody a chance to plug their stuff. So, Domenic, who are you? Why should people know who you are?
Well, there's no real reason why people should know who I am.
Okay, well, that's not true. Domenic has an amazing Substack, amazing show. Tell us all about it.
I write the Good Neighbor, Bad Citizen Substack, where I write weekly and I podcast weekly. It grew out of a short book I wrote in the fall of 2023 by the same title, Good Neighbor, Bad Citizen. I explore the deep and logical and beautiful harmony between genuine early church Christianity and anarchism voluntarism.
Dominic, I got to say that was one of my favorite episodes. I don't agree with you, let's say theologically or from that perspective or whatever, right? I'm not a religious type person, but I really feel like you are a deep thinker, and anybody interested in philosophy, deep thoughts, your Substack is definitely worth a read, if nothing else, to get the old brain juices flowing.
And I love his name. Because it's scarcity. It sounds like Kinsella with scarcity. So hey,
kinda. Right. Hey, before
it's two good combinations.
Before the great Doc Dixon loses connection again, Doc, say hello to everybody. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
Hey, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Hey, everybody. Is this working?
Yes. Yes.
Why am I here?
I'm literally on the road. We're not literally.
Oh no!
But I wanted to take time to graduate.
Oh, I want this to work so bad. Does everybody know who Doc Dixon is?
Yeah, I met him at Tom Wood's house.
So Doc Dixon is a famous magician. He fooled Penn and Teller. He's currently trying to join us from a cruise ship. Is that right, Doc?
Or Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'll be on the Woods cruise coming up this summer. But I'm often referred to people that like my magic as the Adam Haman of magic.
Yes!
But that's the only people that like me.
That fits.
I actually have trademarked that, not because I want to, but it'll irk Stephan.
No, it's okay.
Anyway,
I think
that's the one trademark
I just
Stephan
wanted to
will
pop in
allow.
though, because Adam graciously invited me. But I gotta go, guys. Adam, keep up your awesome work, brother.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much, Doc. You're the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know if he was going to be able to join us at all, but that was great.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, Adam, we are approaching 2 hours here. I think it is time for us to reveal a brand new segment on Haman Nature. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm ready because we got to play like, Adam, can we take another break? Guys, can you stick around for a little bit longer? Is everybody good? Another like 20, 25 minutes or so?
Sure.
Would that be okay?
Yes.
Adam, can we do another break quick?
Of course.
All right, guys, we're going to take another break. Just hit that break thing. We'll be back
Tyrone's
in
gotta
5
pee.
minutes, and then we're going to reveal a brand new segment on Haman Nature. You're not going to want to miss this one, folks.
Porcupines have tiny bladders. I'll see y'all in just a few minutes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. All right, if you are just tuning in, we are celebrating the 200th episode of Haman Nature. What?
Bum, 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 bum.
All right, so
you gotta do a Tom Woods celebration when you hit 1,000.
We ain't got the money. We ain't got the budget for that.
No,
by the time you get to 1,000, you'll have it. You'll get there.
Well, let's see. 2 years, 200 episodes. We still haven't monetized YouTube yet, but we're getting there, folks. One subscriber at a
I'm
time.
ahead of you
By
guys.
the way,
I'm making less money and I've got more episodes. Yeah, so I know.
by the way, if you're like Brian O'Leary and haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so.
Brian, great recommendation. I realized I was not subscribed. I've loved you guys forever. I watch you guys all the time. I was not subscribed. Brian, thank you so much for saying that. I did subscribe. Everyone, subscribe.
Dude,
subscribe to Haman Nature.
Thank you for the totally organic endorsement there, brother.
I endorse that as well.
Do the same. Do the same thing
Stephan,
at Brian D. O'Leary on YouTube.
Stephan's putting
also.
a hat on top of a hat.
Amen. Plug your stuff, guys.
Stephan's putting
It's like
a
a
hat on
4-pop
top
collar.
of a hat. What's going on?
There's 4-pop collars, bro. That's bad. It's not good.
Crazy, just crazy here.
What are you doing, Stephan?
Ladies and gentlemen, for our 200th episode, I want to give the fans out there a little treat, a little behind the scenes in the podcasting universe. I don't know if you know that, but most people, including the guys wearing tuxedos and suits and ties, when they're podcasting, they don't ever wear anything on their lower half of their body. So if everybody could just stand up and show everybody what we're all doing here, everybody just
Show them what you're
rise
working
up.
with.
Yeah, just dangle, flop, whatever you do, just stand up.
What happened with that news guy who was doing that thing? in the break?
Tubin. All right,
Adam.
He's
tubing.
Look at
I
Stephan
wore my
Kinsella.
shirt
People
sweats.
aren't
for you,
doing
Adam.
it.
I wore my church sweats for you guys.
Damn.
Just so you know.
I am truly naked. I'm not standing up. I was kidding.
I'm happy to show you proof of life, man. It's cool.
Stephan, you win the award for best dressed. But
I've never been so impressed.
That's
everything.
in Adam's and Tyrone's honor. Okay.
I can't believe you dressed up like this for us. Tyrone, would you like to showcase what we're gonna start doing in the future?
Yes. So we have had many sort of fun segments on Haman Nature. You may be familiar with our segment, Hey Hero, Your Fly is Down, which is a great segment. We've also done a segment called Hey Mac. You should check that out. We are unveiling a brand new segment. Now, raise your hand here, guys, if you are fans of the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay, I got a couple of fans.
Stephan Kinsella doesn't like it.
Okay. Fair enough. It's
Never
one of
seen
Adam and mine's favorite shows ever.
Really? Wow.
Oh well, okay.
I have an original Patty story in Philadelphia, but yeah, it's a great show.
Okay. So, what Adam and I thought would be funny is if we decide. So, okay. Jason and Mark.
Wait, did Joe Pesci just join the show? He's like, okay.
The Utes. Okay.
What's a Ute?
Okay.
What is a Ute?
What's
So
a grip?
Eminem, Mark Maresca, not your show, but Mark P and Jason. When I was on your guys' show, we talked about I really don't know where I was going with this.
Wow. So what we're doing is this brand new show. It has something to do with It's
This
Always
brand new
Sunny.
segment where we all lose our train of thought. It happens to me all the time.
Hard to do this
Don't
live.
sweat it.
It is
It's the
hard to do
self-care
this
team.
live. You guys do your shows live all the time? Wow.
Yeah. I've done a 4.5 hour live show.
Oh my God. How?
Completely unedited. Scott Horton did a 10.5 hour show with Lex Friedman. If you can do a 10.5 hour
not live
with Lex Friedman,
Okay. Well,
yes, but it was all edited.
that was just reading the footnotes in
Jason
his
and Mark,
book.
when I was on your show, we were talking about economics, and you guys were giving me crap about how Adam and I read through the book called Economics in 3 Lessons. I know it was a little tongue in cheek. We were just joking with it. And, why are you guys doing this? We had economics in 1 lesson. Why do you have to review economics in 3 lessons? So we've read through the whole book. We did a whole series on it. And, it's a little dry. It's a little intellectual. It's a little, not for everybody, not for the masses. And so Adam and I, it's always been our intention with this show to appeal to the remnant one day, right? That we want to put some knowledge out there in the world that future generations can use. But we understand, and it's one of the reasons why we did that music video. We understand that culture is the way to really communicate these ideas to the masses, right? So Adam and I, after getting done with the book Economics on 3 Lessons, we were like, that was great, but how can we really promote libertarian, Misesian, Austrian economic theories in a fun way, in a way that more people will understand it and maybe glob onto it. And I don't know, Adam, how we started or how we got on the joke of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it's one of our favorite shows. And we're like, what if we took the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and used the show to explain economic principles? And thus, we have come up with a brand new segment called
I love this episode because now I get to let my Philadelphia accent come out because I've been holding on to this for about 3 years now. You guys don't even know that I actually talk like this. But when I talk on a podcast, I don't sound like that at all.
Hey, Mark, from my heart, you're pure Philly trash right now. Just trash.
That is how bad was that? Do you know how many years, how many decades that took? The Eagles, what are you talking about over there? You don't even have macaroni and gravy where you're from. You don't even know what it's about.
That sounds like a Kate Winslet imitation.
Accent. It's impossible to get and hard to get out. It took decades, guys.
What'd you say, Stephan?
I said that sounds like Kate Winslet trying to do a North Carolina accent.
She's trying. Yeah, she tried it too. Water. We still drink water. It's ridiculous.
He tried to move to Phoenix and hide it, but we know what you are, Mark.
All right, we want everybody to chime in on this. But Stephan, we're going to lean on you a little bit as our economic theorist powerhouse here. We're going to play a clip from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the show, and talk about the economics of what they're talking about and how to interpret it, discuss it, use it to promote libertarian, Misesian, Austrian, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Adam, hit the clip.
You're making the one guy who gave a thumbs down do this.
That's right. He doesn't even know the show.
No, that's just because I lived in Philly for 3 years. But the show is cute. I will say it's cute.
We'll have a cheesesteak argument later.
Also, in addition to the economic analysis, because there is room for some, we're going to need you to give us some advice on how to avoid all the IP infringement that we're going to encounter in this segment.
So the music, the song that they used, the one I just played, is not original to them.
Nice.
I have bought the rights to play it.
Nice.
I created the logo. It's Always Anarchy in Philadelphia on my own, independently.
Nice.
No AI involved whatsoever.
No AI involved, brother.
I know someone's workaround. Someone's workaround over here.
Work smart, not hard.
It's brilliant, by the way.
All right, we're going to want to hear from all of you, but especially Stephan. Here we go.
Just tell me to shut up. It's okay.
Did you ever see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
The cartoon was excellent, and the movies were even more well refined.
The price of these suckers.
Never saw it.
What are you guys looking at?
New couches. We got rid of the old one, but the prices are insane.
That's nuts, man. I think we should just rent like we did the last time, you know? Wait, you rented your sofa?
Yeah, I mean, all we did was pay the interest.
How much was the interest? Oh, it's nothing. It was like $25 a week. How long did you have it?
15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Bro.
You spent close to $20,000 on a couch you never owned. 20,000?
No.
Where are you getting that from?
No.
52 weeks a year, $25 a week. 15 years. $19,500.
That seems high.
That's pretty bad business, fellas.
I don't understand why prices are so high right now.
Inflation. Right, yeah.
Oh, well, right.
Inflation.
I mean,
Yeah?
because of the inflation.
You guys do understand what inflation is, right?
Inflation? Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the sake of argument,
Yeah.
pretend we don't.
Inflation is when the price of goods and services go up.
Yeah.
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 Eh?
Oh, thank God. Hey, I'm being evicted. The landlord, he jacked up my rent, and I can't pay. Now listen, I have glued my hand to the door, so they can't physically remove me.
Just a second, Deandra. See, inflation happens when there's more demand than there is supply.
Yes.
Right, I don't think they're good. You want me to walk them through it?
Charlie.
Yeah, you...
Shut up, Charlie. You don't understand any of
That's
this.
not true, dude. I've learned a lot about business living with Frank. You know, I know stuff. Also, speaking of, I got an investment idea that I'd love to pitch you guys if I...
Patty's.
Do not hang up on me.
Charlie, we don't want to hear it. Frank, keep going.
Well, you see, the government tries to curb inflation by raising interest rates so that people borrow less and spend less.
Okay, so if prices are going up, could we get a raise?
No, well, you see, if I raise your wages, then you'd have more money.
Yeah.
And that, in this case, is not good.
No.
Because, you know, it would increase inflation.
Yeah?
And we don't want that to increase, right? So maybe what we would need to do is lower our wages. I get it.
But that would cause a recession.
Yeah.
Which could lead to a depression.
So you can.
Which can't do that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Take a pay cut. Or a raise.
No.
That's money talk.
Yeah, that's money talk right there.
That's money talk.
Basically, it boils down to your nut, right? Like, how much, nut do you go through a month, right? Are you storing up your nut, or are you just blowing through it? Like, okay, how much nut do you guys blow through in a month?
I don't want to talk to you about...
Yeah, I figured you were, man. So you got to try to hang on to some of that nut, otherwise it's all gone.
But that's the screwy thing about it. Money isn't as valuable as it always was.
And money's not as valuable, right?
How can the value of money be different? Money is money.
No, a buck is not worth a buck.
No.
No, it's worth 25 cents right
There,
now.
yeah.
A dollar's worth 25 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll give you 50 cents for a buck.
Hey.
I think that sounds like a good deal. Yeah?
Huh.
Frank, you gotta wire me money. They're unscrewing my...
Okay, you know what? I only have a 10.
I give you a 5.
That's money talk. Let's go.
Nice.
All right. You want my take?
Brilliant. Yep. Yes,
Tell
I
us
do.
about
Okay,
inflation.
so I'm reminded of the Seinfeld episode. You don't even know what a write-off is.
Yes.
The funny thing is that they have this Danny DeVito character acting like the wise one, but even he gets it wrong. So a cursory take would be this illustrates the importance of the relation between interest rates and finance, and the time value of money. But a deeper analysis would be that this clip illustrates the relevance of economic literacy and time preference. So time preference is the reason we have interest. And also, these guys are illustrating time preference being high because they're ignorant of economic theory, which is why they're willing to pay too much for the couch.
Yeah, but tell us about that nut.
Yeah, I blow through my nut every month.
I'm told you have to get the nut out, and that's important.
But honestly, this is a great example of just sort of how the general public views inflation. And
yeah,
there's enough right in there, but the problem is there's also too many things wrong with it, right? So I feel like people get half the story right, let's say with the Great Financial Crisis. They watch The Big Short, and they get that half of it right, but they miss the part about how the government was promoting subprime mortgages and artificially lowering interest rates, right? So this clip from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is showing like how they get sort of like half of it right, but are Go ahead, Stephan.
So DeVito's character makes the mistake of conflating price rises, which is monetary or price inflation, with real inflation, which is increasing the money supply. Although he seems to senses the connection by talking about the Fed's tampering with interest rates, but he buys into the common misconception that there needs to be a Federal Reserve or a central bank that controls the interest rates. So he's thinking that if interest rates are too high or too low, in particular if they're too low, that causes price inflation or inflation. But this presupposes that we should have some reasonable interest rate set by the Fed. But of course, the Austrian view would be that the money supply should be fixed. There should be a fixed money supply. There should not be fractional reserve banking. And basically, if the Fed were to do its job and to approximate what we would have with the sound money world, like a gold money or a Bitcoin world, is the interest rate should go to infinity. In other words, the Federal Reserve should stop printing any money at all. They should raise the interest rate to infinity, stop permitting the banks to borrow against the Fed. Now, that doesn't mean interest rates would be infinite. They would go to a natural market level, which would be higher than we have right now. And that would stop the amount of price inflation that's happening.
I appreciate that very much, but all I really heard is Adam and Tyrone. Gosh, that's a great idea. You're going to have ultimate success with this new segment on the show.
It's a good idea. Have you guys not heard Epstein talk about fractional?
Say again, Brian?
Dominic, I think it was Dominic, right?
I don't know.
I think it was a good idea.
Oh,
if you can do what Stephan was leading you towards there, which is correcting the flaws in the show. Yeah, they brought in supply and demand at the end, which is not really anything to do with inflation. Inflation is the amount of currency, and inflation happens when there's unbacked currency entering the market. So Stephan, maybe you can clarify this for me. Is the Austrian view that there should be a fixed supply of money, or simply that money should not be severed from production? It's like if you mine more gold, you're going to get more gold currency, but that's fine in the Austrian view, right? Because it's backed by production.
Austrianism is technically a value-free discipline. It's economics. It's not really a normative. It's not a policy recommendation. The libertarian view is mixed, and the Austrians who are libertarians, most of them are in favor of a gold standard because there is still some price inflation because of the natural mining of gold. And I think the theory there is that it's ideal that you don't have a fractional reserve system at all, so that you can only have price inflation that comes about from the expansion of the money supply when you find new gold. Now, my view is that that's just an imperfection in money, which is fine. If you have a gold money supply, it's still not a perfect money because you can have mining of new gold, and that doesn't produce new wealth because money is not wealth. So my view is that Bitcoin could be more like an ideal or perfect money because you can never expand the supply of Bitcoin at all once we reach 21 million. So the libertarian Austrians, most of the Rothbardian ones, are opposed to fractional reserve banking. The Hayekians and the free bankers, like Larry White and George Selgin and these guys, they are in favor of a private fractional reserve banking system called free banking, which I think has economically some problems, which Rothbard and some other Austrians have pointed out.
Stephan, I was just going to bring up George Selgin, so I'm glad you did. And in his talk at the Mises Institute, he gave probably 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty convincing to me to make me really think about fractional reserve banking in a different way. But the way he was describing it, it almost sounded more like if you were to buy a certificate of deposit at a bank, let's say, like they can loan that money out because it's not the transaction is transparent. Like, we're not going to guarantee this money to you tomorrow. We'll guarantee it to you sometime in the future. And in the meantime, we're going to loan it out.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, the long and short is they can't guarantee it. They can make an IOU. So, unlike some of the Rothbardians, I am not opposed to fractional reserve banking from a libertarian perspective.
Yep.
As long as you disclose the terms to the depositor. The problem is conflating the two functions of depositing or safekeeping or warehousing of your money and of credit intermediation. So, if you deposit or give money to a bank, I think you should have to make a choice. Am I loaning this to the bank?
Yes.
In which case I lose my title to it, and then the bank can loan it out to other borrowers and hopefully make a profit and give some of that back in the form of interest payments to the depositor, which is not really a depositor, it's more of a lender.
Yes.
The economic dispute, in my view, is that the free bankers like Selgin, they believe that the IOUs that the bank would print and issue could circulate as a money substitute. I don't think they could, because the value of an IOU, which is not, it's just a promise to be paid in the future, is not as good as title to actually money or gold, because there's always a risk of failure. The people, when I loan money to a fractional reserve bank and the bank loans it out to borrowers, you're loaning it to them for them to spend on their enterprises, but they might go bad. Like they might go bankrupt. They might not be able to repay their loan, which means the assets of the bank could fall to a level where they're insolvent and they can't repay the IOUs held by their customers, which is a risk that you take. That risk is stopped right now because of federal deposit insurance. But in a free market, there wouldn't be that, and there also could not be private insurance because those are uninsurable risks. Because Mises distinguished between case probability and class probability, and you simply can't insure your business venture. It's impossible to insure it.
Stephan, that was great. Can you hang on just a second?
Yeah.
All that information was just such a big dump that poor Jason's brain is full and he has to leave. But before he goes, can you thank you for being here, and you got to look in the camera and tell us what you think of the Haman Nature Show.
Thank you. You know, I'm Haman Nature's #1 fan. I'm a paid subscriber, which is a badge of honor for me. I really hope you keep riding Bob Murphy's coattails to the top of this small internet niche.
That's the plan, brother.
So you don't have to return to a life of degenerate gambling. So hey, thanks for having me. Well. Yes, love you guys. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you guys who I haven't met yet. Mark and Mark, good to see you again. Love you, everybody.
Congratulations on the kid. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you.
All right, Adam. Well, we've been going a couple hours now. I think it's time we kind of wrap this thing up here. We got any more listener, viewer comments to
you know we do. Say goodbye? You know we do.
And once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. This has been such a treat for us. I mean, 200 episodes. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for us, this is a big milestone. So we really appreciate it. And all of you guys have been a part of our journey. We couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much.
I want to echo that, except you're all terrible, because way back on Haman Nature episode number 18, we had our highest viewed episode ever because I interviewed my ex-girlfriend.
Well, that doesn't really count.
I interviewed my ex-girlfriend's son, who is a legit rock star.
He's a famous musician. I mean, come on.
He's a legit rock star. Hold on, this all circles together. And so we got one comment. We got several comments on that episode on the YouTube. And here's one from Evie Griggs 6706, who said, quote, in all caps, but a very strange typeset, "This brought me so much hope that in BHD neighborhood," that's the name of the rock band, "will be back. I'm sobbing, crying, throwing up, nary a punctuation mark, but at the end, prayer hands." Thank you, Evie Griggs.
Thanks,
6706.
We got a lot of comments from the fans of that band that like really had.
They were so happy.
Crossover on.
Have I seen their apparel in Vegas on the Miracle Mile shops?
I doubt it. What did it look like?
I think it might have been Brotherhood. I think I got it.
They're big, but they're not like.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I go there a lot. So.
Echoing what that commenter said, I also feel nauseous when watching your show. So.
Me too.
Thank you, Domenic. I understand how you feel. I get it.
Technically, Domenic, you feel nauseated.
Yes, nauseated and nauseous and puking.
And remember, as good as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for economics, The Sopranos is an excellent documentary about the federal government.
All right, dude, that's your next segment. I'm not going to steal that idea, even though ideas can't be copyrighted. Am I right, Stephan?
True story.
That's correct.
It is
good man.
But I'm curious what all our esteemed guests think about what we've seen with silver and gold, the up and the down, the announcement of a new Fed share, the massive continued counterfeiting, and how crap fiat money is. Anybody have anything brilliant to say about what's going on or what we can expect?
Yeah, the new Fed chair is a fake. He is not going to be a hawk. He will cut interest rates as soon as he's in. I predict, just prediction, folks. This is not financial advice. I guarantee. Can Porcupines guarantee anything? The Federal Reserve will hit about a 2.25% target rate by this time next year. That's my prediction.
Who else? Raise your hands. Mark?
Go ahead, Mark. Mark P, that is.
All I can tell you is that I sense precious metals doing something, and I'm like, I should start investing. As the price reached north of 30, I started getting uncomfortable. Because does everybody remember when that guy dumped like $12 billion of silver on the market after it hit like 30 and then it dropped to like 7 for all that time and then took all that time to build up again? Like that's where I was at, like in my head, right? Because we have these emotional feelings, right? So I stopped buying at 31.80. I looked back at it, and that was like March or April of this year, and it hit 118 plus or 1, and you're like,
20.
what is going on? Now, obviously, I'm looking at it right now. It's I go to bullion exchanges just for the index. 49.80 on gold, which obviously that's skyrocketed, but silver's still 78.48. It's still 2.5x where I stopped buying.
Yep,
and I'm curious to you guys, other than investing in additional brass and lead, which are the other precious metals we should be investing in.
Actually, copper,
just so we know. Other than those two other precious metals, what do you guys think about keep buying into this market as it's heating? Because I was feeling a rug happening. I'm like expecting some rugging to happen somewhere.
Okay, so my father lost his shirt on gold investment in the 80s. And I'll never forget how disappointed he was in that. And later in life, he told me, if you invest in physical gold, he's like, I just don't. It's too volatile. Number one, when it goes crazy, and number two, he's like, what are you going to do with it? You can't go to the grocery store and buy anything with it. You still got to convert it into cash.
Let's hear from the guy who should know something about money and investment.
Stephan, go ahead.
In the funny hat, Stephan Kinsella. What say you?
Well, you could say just invest in yourself, and
that's
invest in
adorable.
experiences with the die with zero guy, which I kind of agree with to a degree. Well, I think that we have to keep in mind, number one, the future really is uncertain because it hasn't happened yet, and people that think they can predict what's happening, say we're in a trend, I think it's all nonsense. I actually agree with Malkiel and the random walk down Wall Street guy. It's impossible to predict the future with a program or with a trick, because if you could do it, then other people would do it, and then you would lose the edge. Now, what I think it's inevitable that the dollar is going to collapse. But we've been saying this for 50 years. So how long is it going to be? We don't know. It's a little bit like, the reason California and even the U.S. can charge so much taxes is because they know they can get away with it because people are slow to leave. But eventually they leave. They're leaving in California and New York now. And the U.S. has used its his reserve dollar status around the world to control people, and that's slowly causing people to flee to BRICS currencies or others. So, and the dollar is doomed. All fiat monies are doomed, because if you can print it, you will print it, right? And that's what's going to happen. So I think fiat monies are going to collapse at some point, and so I think we possibly could be in the process of monetization of Bitcoin or something like that, but we've never seen this before in the history of the world. So we don't really know how it's going to play out, whether it's going to be a soft landing or a hard landing or a peaceful transition or anarchy, Mad Max world, or what. But my guess is that Bitcoin, I think it's prudent to have at least some small percentage of your portfolio in something like precious metals and Bitcoin, if nothing else, as a diversification and as a hedge against the inevitable collapse of the dollar. And I don't think anyone keeps the majority of their wealth in cash anymore. They keep it in stocks and real estate, and now in precious metals and Bitcoin, whether it's in mutual funds or ETFs, or whether it's in physical actual holdings of Bitcoin or gold or silver. So that's all I can say is just try to be aware of it, and don't count on it, and don't think that you can predict the future, because that's how people get burned. And of course they do the thing that psychics do too. They count their hits and not their misses. So people say, oh, I made a great trade here. They don't tell you about the 10 trades they made that lost money. So very few people, if any, are really able to predict the future with their systems.
Wasn't it China that just introduced to try to take over the reserve, to introduce some kind of bill as a reserve currency to take over for American currency? I just heard something on the news.
I think the BRICS countries, including China and the BRICS countries, they're trying to come up, in Russia, they're trying to come up with something alternative to the petrodollar to trade oil in. So I think that's coming. The U.S. has thrown its weight around too much, and that ruins the ability of people to count on the dollar. I mean, if you're censored and you're used to the dollar by being removed from the SWIFT system, people finally will say, well, the dollar is convenient, but the U.S. government controls it too much. So they're going to overplay their hand, and it's going to cause a flight to fragmented currencies around the world, which is just a precursor to a breakdown of the monetary order of the world. And the U.S. doesn't have control of the whole world or the United Nations. So I don't think we're going to have like a phoenix or a new currency that will take over. And so I think it's going to have to be some alternative, and hopefully it will be something like Bitcoin or gold. Although I think gold has failed already, and to think it won't fail a second time is naive. So it would have to be something new, like a decentralized currency like Bitcoin.
From a conspiracy theorist perspective, I remember when West Germany absorbed East Germany, and they gave, they took 3 East German marks and gave them 1 West German mark or something like that. Do you foresee some CBDC takeover where your dollars will just be converted and you'll get a fractionalization and it like zeroes it back out and resets everything? Does anyone sense anything like that with the way things are going?
Like a reverse stock split.
Not exactly,
at some point,
but
something
$10
like
is
that,
not
and
going to equal 1.
Right. Because I'm seeing governments and banks buying gold too, and they're trying to back I'm sensing a backing of a new thing that they're trying to get us, with
I was just about to say the most recent crossover, Haman Nature episode 199 that I had with Bob Murphy, we talked about a bunch of these central banks and the stablecoin Tether buying a whole bunch of gold, which obviously had something to do with this recent run-up. And the theory being posted out there is that what they're trying to do is create some sort of a either gold linked or gold backed cryptocurrency to try and make people have a soft landing from all this fiat nonsense. And I don't know if they've got the stones or the wherewithal or the ability to make any of that happen, but it's interesting that a lot of people with a lot of money are looking to gold to try and make this whole thing not look like a fraud anymore, at least. And that's kind of encouraging.
I mean, in my view, obviously the only libertarian solution would be a default.
Yes.
And I think that's what the government should do. Contrary to Javier Milei, everyone defending Milei that's alleged libertarian, for having to get the backing of the U.S. to keep the Argentinian peso from collapsing. What's wrong with it collapsing, right? What's wrong with just defaulting on your debt to the IMF and other things? Because that's just putting that's putting it on the backs of the taxpayers. So I think default, and Rothbard talks about this in his writing, the only libertarian solution is for the government to default. Instead of revaluing the currency, just default on all the obligations and just cancel out the federal debt, have sort of like a jubilee. That would cause turmoil and a worldwide recession, but that's coming anyway. This bubble that we've been in for 70 years or whatever it is bound to pop at some point, and it's better to pop it by making the holders of government slavery bonds suffer rather than everyone else, the taxpayers and people holding real assets.
Completely agree. Mark, as I said on your show, Misesians are terrible at giving predictions, and I gave you guys predictions on when I was a guest on your show. 2032, it's all over. So guys, buckle up. We're only a few years away. Adam,
hold on a second before we move. Before we move, I haven't heard Dom give any prognostications, or Brian.
Oh yeah, Dom, I bet, has a different perspective on things. Because Dom,
I mean, yeah, fiat money survives because at the end there's an end user for it. Like the government will accept it back for taxes. That was the basis for old gold-backed money and precious metals as well. The common person didn't do a lot practically with gold and silver, but they knew that there was an end user who would actually want to consume it. There was the ruling class that would want it for jewelry and things because precious metals draw attention. And that's what the ruling class wants. They want to stand out. They want to draw people's attention, flaunt their wealth, that they could have something that was not really useful, but yet they had it. So I don't think that there should be a fixed amount of money because I think that's terribly unnatural. So I don't know whether this puts me with other Austrians or anything like that, but I think anything that people want to use as a proxy for goods and services could be money.
Absolutely.
I think gold and silver for a long time was successful because it was a commodity money that if there was too much gold and too much silver, people would simply stop coining it and instead make saleable items out of it. And that would very naturally reduce the amount of gold and silver in currency and therefore buffer the value of the currency.
Yeah.
Then if the value of it goes way up, then people would stop making as many commodities, many products out of it, and go back to coining it. So there was a natural ebb and flow. And I think the reason why I'm okay with that is because, and this is where maybe I'm going to go off the rails with even on Austrians, I think perfect markets are a scam. I don't know why you would want perfect markets. I don't know why you would want perfect equilibrium. I don't know why you would want perfect money.
Yeah, Austrians don't believe in that either.
Good. Because the word perfect to me means static.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you want a perfect market,
Exactly.
It has existed in history.
Right.
And it's dirt poor. It's absolute poverty to consume everything that you produce is a perfect market. That's subsistence level
I
poverty.
completely agree.
The best parts of the market.
Let me pause you for a second, Dom. I'm sorry. I know Mark Maresca has to take off, so
Yeah, Mark.
thank you for coming, brother, and say goodbye to the nice folks.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Congratulations again, Adam. You do a great show, and you just keep it up. And so long to all the guys here, Stephan, Mark. It's all great seeing you again.
Thank you, brother. You're awesome, man. Keep up your great work.
All right. Take care.
Great seeing you, Mark.
Bye.
White Pillbox, everybody. By the way, he's got a 23-part series on the psychology of authority. It is
it's amazing.
Authority. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
He basically predicts the ice shooting in the second episode or the third episode, like 12 minutes in. Like, oh, we got to talk. That's why I booked him on the last show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There you go.
It's
Stephan has
I
to
like,
go as
I
well.
like imperfections. I did the, which was I was going to sub with. Like the best parts of the market are the imperfect parts.
Yeah,
and I
that's how
don't
it
know
works.
why you would ever
100%.
want to have perfect anything because
Yeah.
perfect means static.
Yeah, Austrian
static
economics
is
has
boring,
nothing
and
to
that's
do,
not growth.
has nothing
That's
to
not
do with
prosperity.
static. Everything happens like the great Jeff Deist says. Everything happens on the margins. And obviously you never reach equilibrium. It's, the market process is a dynamic process. It has to be because it's based in reality. And that's what human beings are on this earth, is dynamically trying to advance and achieve. And yes, of course, there's no such thing as an equilibrium. Stephan Kinsella, God bless you, good man, for coming on our little show. I really appreciate you. Thank you for dressing up. I know you have to say goodbye. So say goodbye to the nice folks.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Nice meeting the ones I haven't met before. Thanks so much. Congratulations again, and we'll be in touch, and I'll see you later.
And take care, man.
You sir. Care.
All right. Well, Adam, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. We've gone through all the talk. Do we have any more viewer comments? We haven't.
Mike, Brian are you back with us, Brian? Have you fixed your issue?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to say,
Can you hear us?
as far as the currency discussion, and I think it dovetails into most everything in life upon this mortal coil. I'm a short-term pessimist, long-term optimist. I don't believe that optimism is going to manifest in my lifetime. Certainly not by 2032, Tyrone. But I'm looking forward to things happening for my kids, for their grandchildren. I think things are, if discussions like this and getting out the word about how screwed up things really are, they really are messed up in this world and this culture. If we can change that slowly but surely, I think in a number of generations, we can, to Dom's point, it's not gonna be perfect, but it'll be a lot better. So that's all I gotta say.
That's great.
Amen. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Yeah, Tyrone?
All right. It's up to you, man, if you want to do the one last thing or just call it quits.
I got.
You had mentioned in your email that we were supposed to prepare something about Oscar, and so I was prepared to talk about Oscar.
Shit. Dom actually fermented. Okay.
God,
that's my cue to leave. I have zero interest in the Oscars.
That was my weak spot. I'm like, please, let's not get to the Oscars.
We had sort of
I thought was a very underrated character on Sesame Street. I think it's really unfortunate.
All right, we're not gonna do that, guys.
No, I think
I haven't seen any of the movies.
Oh man,
we're not doing the Oscars, but I agree with Dominic that Oscar the Grouch was a greatly underrated.
Oscar the Grouch was the best, but I've got one more last thing, Adam. That
Patriots
I really
win 20-17.
All right. Anybody else have a Super Bowl thing they want
to? No. It's not the Super Bowl. It's the other thing.
Everything's a thing. It's tomorrow, isn't it? I don't know.
We should buy Greenland.
Hit us with it, Tyrone. I got time. Let's do it. Bring it. Come on, man. Come on. You can.
Well, I think, Adam, this has been amazing. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It was so nice to meet the people that I, have only seen behind the computer, and to meet some of my heroes, and to have you all celebrate with us our 200th episode. It's
We're
really
still just behind the computer,
God damn it, Dominic! You're always bringing it back home. You're right, Tyrone.
Who invited the wet blanket to this party?
I'm a realist. I'm sorry.
I thank each and every one of you for coming on our little show to help celebrate it. It means the world to me. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that we suck. At technological I don't know how it started working, honestly. We started trying to
clicked the button.
I don't believe you. Porcupines don't have digits that operate machinery, Tyrone. Thank you, Brian.
Minutes, the world premiere of Devil's Republican is about to hit YouTube. So
that's right. The Devil's Republican. Look out for that. Share it. Try and get people mad with it. I encourage this. Brian, thank you so much.
Make a Devil is Libertarian one too.
He said we have a third thing coming up in the trilogy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. The Devil is a Porcupine. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And we will catch you next time on Haman Nature.